Alright, everybody. Welcome to a very special Christmas edition of the Killer Instant Podcast. I'm, of course, your host. A man who will hit up on one blonde. Alright, tell this blonde that she doesn't need this sorority family to be her new family. All she needs is me. And then when I come to sneak in the sorority to spend the night with her, she will find out that I was boning another blonde that lived in the exact same house that was supposed to be one of her sisters. Then she'll get pissed at me, the first blonde. Alright, and then I'll come back, I'll be the big hero while calling everybody a bitch. And then I'll come back to the house and get my ass kicked and my eyes stabbed by some unicorn. J.K. Klein. And on the podcast today, we have a man who, for some reason, was born yellow.
He had a liver disease.
Oh, okay. So he had a liver disease, born yellow. The mom hated him, killed the original dad, and then supposedly had sex with him, and then had a baby, and then came back, and then tried to kill a bunch of girl teenagers. Match up, everybody.
Hey,
as you can see,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. We're on Christmas, and of course we are talking about Black Christmas, the remake from 2006, and boy, what a remake it was. Mm-hmm. So if you guys know, we on Christmas Eve we did the original Black Christmas, and of course we are coming today, Christmas Day, with some more Black Christmas remake. So this movie was vastly different than its predecessor. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody watched this movie. If you guys haven't, the character, I'm about to crack Matt right now. You're probably gonna explode. You know who Agnes looked like to me?
Ew.
She fucking looked like Iggy Pop. Fucking looked like Iggy Pop, bro. I was like, what the fuck? She looked like Iggy Pop. Bro, if you guys saw this movie, this Black Christmas, and you look like the Agnes character growing up, she looked like Iggy Pop. Bro, I think I killed Matt. Matt is dead now. I killed Matt on Christmas with this fucking thing.
He did look like Iggy Pop.
We're sorry, people. This motherfucker looked exactly like him. It's supposed to be a girl, and it's fucking Iggy Pop out there killing people and shit. Agnes. Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop. Say you, Iggy Pop.
Alright, if we calm ourselves down.
Oh, boy.
Bro, what a Christmas this has been. What a Christmas. Who knew that Christmas can be filled with joy of cheesy horror films all around the place? Who knew?
All right, who knew?
And this one is
so great.
So this movie is something else, bro. Half the shit is hard, bro. Okay, a lot of the names in this movie are hard because like there's so many girls, and like I swear 3 of them looked exactly like each other.
Yeah, that was the hard part.
So I'm gonna try to get all their names correctly. But if I don't, you watch the fucking movie and you tell me off the top of your fucking head who these are. Okay? So let's get into some facts about the original Black Christmas. Bro, I swear, if they have the Agnes who played him was Iggy Pop, I'm gonna crack up right now. That'd be fucking awesome.
I got a lust for life.
I got a lust for life, brother. Got no eyeball, ready to kill some stuff. Okay, so Black Christmas, the 2006 remake. All right, it was advertised as just Black Xmas.
Yeah,
all right? But then they decided to name it Black Christmas. The 2006 American-Canadian slasher film, written and directed by Glenn Morgan. Okay, so this is the motherfucker to blame.
Give him a call.
Yes. So let's see. So this film is a loose remake of the 1974 film of the same name. Very loose, by the way. The film was produced by Morgan and our boy James Wong. So James Wong, he's known for doing all those
The Conjuring,
Annabelle, and all that shit.
Annabelle and Sinister, yeah.
Listen, I might get some hate, but I'm not a big fan of those witch hunt movies and shit. But the guy James Wong, he does do very good shots.
He has really good atmosphere.
Yes,
He has
really
very
good
good
about it.
atmosphere.
Storyline wise, hey, you know what? We all can't hit home runners.
No.
Through their production company, Hard 8 Productions, along with 29 Productions and Haben Siegel Productions. So a lot of people wanted to
they
jump
all
on
gone?
this one. Shit, probably.
They're all out of business.
They're all-
We put all our money on
probably.
Iggy Pop.
Yeah, we spent Iggy Pop money. Come on now, help us out here. All right, so this was actually distributed by Dimension Films, which is known from doing Scream.
Yeah, Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
And this was around that time, yet again, that we were talking about. This was about 2006. Me and Greg were out of high school
Yeah,
at this time.
I did not hear this movie at all.
No, this had to be like a direct to video.
Yeah. Well, it was released on December 19th, 2006. So we are actually doing this review a little before then. So a couple years old. So the budget for this film was $9 million. Okay, but the box office actually took $21.5 million. So apparently it was in theaters. I don't know, maybe I didn't hear. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. So director Glenn Morgan signed on to write and direct the film after release of his 2003 remake of Willard. Willard.
Okay, Willard, yeah.
I never heard of the film. So apparently this guy Glenn Morgan's good at doing remakes, apparently. And intended to expand on themes and ideas left either dormant or not in the original 1974 film. So he wanted to do themes that were kind of brought up, but he wanted to do backstory. Oh, the dreaded backstory of Billy and Agnes.
They're always terrible.
So Morgan's script developed the introduction of a villain as well as additional plot twist. So he wanted to do an identify a villain, kind of like the first film, but also have a plot twist, which we'll talk about. The twist. The film was shot on location in Vancouver, British Columbia, in 2005 on a budget of $9 million. The film was co-distributed by, we talked about that, Dimension Films and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. According to director Morgan, he and producer Wong had numerous disputes with Dimension executive Bob and Harvey, your boy, Weinstein.
Oh man, I knew they had part of it. They had
to because there's girls in the
so
film.
Did they own? So they had Dimension Films as well. Then
yeah,
they had Miramax, Dimension, Weinstein Company. Yeah. Wow, he owned a lot.
Yeah. So regarding the tone of the script as well as the film's conclusion, resulted in numerous rewrites and reshoots, which I can kind of tell because at the end it seemed like it was dragging. The movie was definitely dragging. In December 2006, upon its arrival of its release, the film garnered criticisms from religious groups due to its deception of graphic content in a holiday setting. Really? I thought that already happened like a couple thousand years ago. As well as distributors' decision to release the film on Christmas Day in the United States. The film opened in the United Kingdom on December 15, 2006, and premiered in Los Angeles, California on December 19th. Despite backlash from several religious organizations, the film received a wide theatrical release in North America theaters on Christmas Day, 2006, and went on to gross $21 million internationally. So, looks like this movie, I guess, was good. Since to the companies. Okay, so there's been a lot of Christmas movies that probably these religious groups kind of don't even know about. But I'm guessing because this movie was made by a big company. That's what they started to freak out. So, I didn't hear about any of this.
No, I didn't either.
But hey, maybe we just weren't in the loop.
Well, I don't think we were, like we said a bunch of times, we weren't really watching the latest horror movies at that time. We were watching older horror films at that time.
Yes. So let's see what we got here. So Morgan, he was inspired by the crimes of serial killer Edmund Kemper when writing this film, which we saw in the new
Mindhunter.
Yes, in Mindhunter, he was he was the first killer that they talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not really sure how he was. I guess let me see if they see how, because didn't this guy kill people and have sex with their
he killed a bunch of people and then he would have sex with them because he was obsessed with that, and he also killed his mother and he fucked her head.
Yeah. So let's see. So this is about Morgan. the director. After his debut feature, Willard, a remake of an earlier 1971 film, failed to perform well at the box office, Morgan was approached by Dimension Films to write and direct a remake of Black Christmas. Morgan was a fan of the original film and cited it as the predecessor to the modern slasher film, which it pretty much was, which influenced his decision to commit to the remake. Star Crystal Lowy noted Morgan's admiration and aim to take the film to a different level. Boy, did he ever. Well, while respecting the fact that the original was a great movie to begin with. In conceiving a new script, Morgan had intended to rewrote elements of the original film that were left not in there, such as the cryptic phone calls received by the sorority house. While writing the screenplay, Morgan received input from the film's original director, Bob Clark, who also signed on to co-produce the remake. Clark gave Morgan his blessing, stating in an interview that the remake was still Black Christmas, but explored new subplots that had not been fleshed out in the 1974 film. Morgan's created an extensive subplot for the film's killer Billy, which introduced a secondary killer in Billy's younger sister, Agnes, aka Iggy Pop. Not out of that. In the original film, the names Billy and Agnes features prominently in the phone calls received by the sorority sisters. In writing the character of Billy, Morgan was inspired by the life of the killer Edmund Kemper, a real-life serial killer who, as a child, had been locked in the basement of his home by his mother, who later murdered. The introduction of Agnes as a second killer was, according to Mary Elizabeth Weinstein, incorporated in part to extend the film's narrative arc, given that the phone calls coming from inside the house. Plot twist from the 1974 film was too familiar for contemporary audiences. The relationship between Billy and Agnes also allowed Morgan room to explore themes of family, which also prevalent in the relationship between the female characters. In a 2014 interview with Morgan, he claims that his inclusion of a second killer was under the urging of Dimension Films executive. I felt that a $10 million movie of Black Christmas didn't need anyone's help, and they should have left us alone. But they had to have the two killers, and then they were after the kids from the OC. We compromised a lot. So, yeah,
the OC was a huge show at that time.
Yeah. And, I mean, you can kind of tell by watching this film, like, Dimension always wants, they come up with, they want to do all screams, all teenagers, crazy teenagers, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and they want to have, they want to make stars out of some of these people, and, let's put them in the film. Yeah, It'll bring people in.
So in the casting of the sorority sisters, Morgan sought actresses who were of the same caliber. In order to avoid typecasting of the final girl and the supporting characters, Kate Cassidy, who had previously had a supporting role in the When a Stranger Calls remake the same year, was cast in the lead role of Kelly. Michelle, who had gained notoriety for her role as Dawn Summers of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, had initially wanted to avoid returning to the horror genre unless she was given the opportunity to die on screen. She read the script for the film in the middle of the night, which alone in her home, and was unnerved by it, which influenced her decision to sign on to the project. She was cast in the supporting role of Melissa. Okay, Canadian actress Crystal Lowe was cast as Lori, a festy sorority sister from a dysfunctional family. She was the drunk one. Mm-hmm. All right. While Lacey Cabret was cast in the role of Diana, a convincing woman from a privileged background. All right. So we have all kinds of, different girls, but they all don't somehow get along with their family. Oliver Hudson was cast as Kyle, my bad. Oliver Hudson was cast as Kyle, the male lead in Red Herring, after finding the script effective as well as being impressed by Morgan's remake of Willard. The style of that film and the script, and I thought Glenn could marry the two. It could be cool and a little different. That's what he said. So, Andrea Martin, who had played the role of Phyllis in the 1974 film, was cast as a sorority house mother, Mrs. Mack. So Andrea, she actually played Phyllis.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was Phil.
Yeah. She played, yeah. So Phil, the Afro girl, from the first movie, she came back and now she was given the role of basically she was given the role of the Max character.
Yeah,
the older one that's kind of like telling all these girls off.
At least she wasn't a horrible drunk in this one.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Filming. Black Christmas shot on location at Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Given that a great deal of the film takes place during a blackout inside a house, the cinematographers and lighting department were forced to find innovative ways to achieve appropriate lighting on the actors, which include cutting holes in the wall. The film's prominent examples of Christmas decorations and its overall red color palette was chosen by Morgan, who wanted to invoke an American Christmas, which he characterized as being a cross between Washington Irving and Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. Which you could, yeah. On her first day of shooting, during a fight scene with the killer, Lacey Carbred injured her leg and had to fly to Los Angeles to see a doctor. However, she was able to return to the set the following day and continue filming. Okay, so let's read a little bit more about this and we'll get into it. According to director Morgan, he and producer James Wong had various disputes with the film, the Dementia films, specific about the film's tone and why it should end. Morgan's original script ended with Kelly and Lee in the hospital receiving a phone call from Billy, who they believed to be dead. This scene, which Morgan filmed, was intended to pay homage to the conclusion of the original film. This ending, however, was scrapped by Bob Weinstein, who requested Morgan write and shoot a different ending. This ultimately resulted in the movie's violent conclusion that appeared in the cut, the one that we saw, which has Billy being impaled on the hospital Christmas tree topper. As a result of various cuts made during post-production, there are at least 2 different theatrical cuts of Black Christmas that exist. One which was released in Europe, and the cut released in North America, which features slight variations. The European cut, which is 4 minutes shorter than the American cut, features an alternative death scene for Melissa, in which she has her eyes gouged out and is then dragged down a hallway by her eye socket.
God damn.
So I'm guessing that we had the North America one, so we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, we didn't get to see that.
And in the North America theater cut, Melissa is killed by a pair of ice skates.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So remember that scene where she gets killed by the ice skate? This one, it looks like the European cut's a little bit more gruesome. Additional photography. After production in Vancouver concluded, Bob and Harvey Weinstein oversaw the shooting of additional footage in Los Angeles intended only for promotional materials. According to Morgan, he was contacted by the Weinsteins who wanted to pick up some shots for TV spots, to which he agreed. Among the footage shot was Lacey being dragged through snow, footage of a woman falling from the roof where there is a weird lawnmower electric Christmas light thing, and an unidentified woman played by Jillian Murray discovering a woman floating beneath a frozen lake. So we didn't see any of this in the movie. Michelle aimed a shotgun saying, "Merry Christmas, the motherfucker," into the camera. And additional shots of Michelle in a hallway holding a shotgun while Billy levitates above her on the ceiling. This footage was never part or incorporated into the original film. It did appear in the official theatrical trailer as well as television spots, so that's interesting.
Well, they do that. They film scenes that are not part of the... Like, they've been doing that a lot of late.
So the only award happened in 2007, the Scream Awards, for Scream Queen Mary Elizabeth Weinstein, nominated. So she didn't win, but she was nominated. So, pretty sweet. Let's see, anything else is cool in here?
What was the reception?
Reception of the film. Let's see. It doesn't really say.
Okay.
Let's see. We already talked a little bit more about the cast. Mm-hmm. Let me see who played that lead girl, because she looked familiar. Christina Cloak. Let's see. She played Claire's sister, Lee. She appeared in Space Above and Beyond, has acted in several small parts of other TV series, as well as a role in Final Destination. Let's see. Oh, so the girl that played Lee. Okay, so in 1995, the girl played Lee's breakout role came as Captain Shayna Ultimate Benson on Space Above and Beyond. As a result of her work as Benson, a guest role in the X-Files episode The Field Where I Died was written for her. Cloak played Melissa, a wife of a cult leader and soulmate of FBI Special Agent Fox Mulder, thought to have identified disorder. Though it is later revealed that her different personalities correspond to her past life, she later described the episode as a love letter between herself and producer Glenn Morgan, then her fiance, now husband. So she was in a X-Files episode. Cloak was named number 9 of Sci-Fi's Sexy 50 by Femme Fatales magazine in 1997.
Oh, Femme Fatale.
Femme Fatale. All right, everybody. So let's get your Christmas holiday started with a review of Black Christmas Remake.
"15 years ago, on Christmas Eve, his family became his victims.
What have you done?
Now,
all roads and airports are officially closed. This one is not gonna let up.
a group of college friends
That sucks. Everyone should be home for Christmas.
are about to discover
Lauren, we're opening up presents.
Why don't you open the present we got you?
their house
I got it.
is his home.
All is calm, all is bright. Who is in my house tonight?
Don't you have lots of toys to deliver to good little boys and girls?
You really shouldn't provoke somebody like that.
And on December 25th,
You're definitely getting punked.
Is that Santa's reindeer?
all he wants for Christmas
Is Megan in her room?
is a new family he can treat like his very own.
You're my family now.
Black Christmas.
All right. So we're outside of a house, okay? And we see a girl and she's pouring wine. And we have a Christmas song playing. I'm not sure what this one was. Did you catch which song it was?
Mm-mm.
It was
No,
something.
I didn't hear. I didn't know.
So this girl is Carol. All right, and she's drinking wine. She's looking at a gift. All right, and then she's also looking at some letters, and she's writing down the name of Lee. All right, so apparently Lee is her sister. Okay. She hears movement in the closet, but she thinks it's just a vent pushing up air. All right. She looks at the Lee again, and then bam, she gets choked out and then stabbed right in the head. And then we start Black Christmas. Okay, so now we're in we see a door, a little reef on it. It's a criminally insane room. We hear a bunch of laughing. All right. We see this kind of like, I guess, attendant guy. All right.
Oh yeah, it's like a oh no, I know the name for it. Yeah, like a nurse.
Yeah, kind of like a nurse guy passing out.
Aide.
He's basically passing out food and milk and stuff. And one of the milk stopped at a door, and somebody walks out the door. And this guy in white just giving people saying random Merry Christmas. He opens up the door to one guy. One guy is like, I guess he's insane because he quotes Bible references.
Oh no, he thinks he's Jesus. I think that was the thing.
Oh, he thinks he's Jesus?
Yeah.
Fancy. So then he gets scared because this huge Santa shows up. And it sounds like, hey, I just walked in here. You guys left the door open. I couldn't get in. And then and then he's all like, who's in that room over there? Oh, that's Billy. And then it's like, oh, Billy, I thought he died and stuff. And then the black cop comes up saying, yeah, Billy, you don't want to know what's in there. It's not all, and it's not all like, hold on. The black cop's basically saying he knows that you've been naughty. So basically, he's just saying, Billy, I hate when they come up with all these like special words for Christmas. Like, they have to revert everything, like the special words and stuff.
Special words.
Yeah, like Christmas, like, hey man, I know your candy canes are.
Oh, they're trying to do a pun.
Yeah,
like
pun.
They're trying to make pun. Yeah, they're trying to make puns for this.
Yeah, so basically the black cop is rolling to Santa like, hey, I got Billy's in there and he's locked under key and stuff. And then he's all like, oh man.
Lock and key.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh man, I heard he should be used to that because he was locked up in an attic through his mom. So they're giving us some background on this Billy guy. He says, yeah, he tries to escape every year on Xmas, but I'm not going to let that happen. All right? So we get our boy Kyle. Okay? He's making out with our girl Blonde. Okay? Which the blonde girl's name is Kelly. All right? They're making out. All right? So Kelly is nervous about meeting her parents. All right? And she doesn't want to go home to see her sister. But she wants to go back inside the sorority house because those are her new sisters. And then our boy Kyle's like, listen, they're not your sisters. I'm your family.
This is just some weird family.
So we get a Jingle Bell song play. All right. And we get a bunch of the girls now. All right. So I wrote some of their names down. So I had to. There's a ton of girls in here.
Oh, yeah.
So the three that look alike, they're all like brown hair girls. Melissa, Dana, and Lauren. Okay. Right now, I think we get the Lauren. Lauren, all right, girls, she's looking for Billy's present. Okay. So apparently, this sorority, before they can open up any presents, they open up a present for Billy we'll tell you why here in a second. So we get the original girl, Phil, from the original movie. She is Miss Mac now, or Diana. So they all want to party, all right? The girl, Lauren, says it's snowing Santa's ball sack outside. That was Matt's favorite line in the movie.
Fuck.
So Claire's upstairs, and now she's now, with the bag over her head and stuff. And so they're all saying, like, Claire, she's upstairs, and she is now trying to bury the hatchet with her sister. And the Lauren girl's like, I wish I could put a hatchet in my sister.
The lines in this are just, like, ladies and gentlemen, the lines in this movie are god-awful.
All right, so we're back with Billy. He's sucking on the candy cane. Oh, God.
Oh, yes, because we have a scene where Billy sets a gift out on...
Yeah, he gives the gift to the black cop.
To the cop, to the security guard, and...
Yeah, saying, you're not going to be home for Christmas.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, in your dreams, Billy, you ain't going to be home for Christmas. And he tricks the cop by giving him an unwrapped present that says, like, the note says, I'll be home for Christmas. All right. So then, of course, the cop goes in there, can't find Billy because Billy made like this little trap for him, and then fucking kills him with a candy cane.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Why?
Okay. So now, not only do we have reinforced Christmas lights, now we have deadly candy canes. All right. That's a new.
And apparently, he doesn't look under the bed because that's where Billy was hiding.
Yeah. What a dumb.
Like. How long have you been a cop for?
Yeah. So, of course, and we already knew he was going under the bed. All right. I'm trying to get all these girls' names. Okay, so we got Diana and we got Lauren.
Yeah.
No. We got Heather and we have Diana. Heather's trying to get everybody to go downstairs to get their presents. So they all bang on everybody's door. They bang on Claire's door. She's not there. Now they're banging on this other blonde girl's door. And this girl's name is Megan. And Megan is watching porn of herself.
Yeah, it's a video of Kyle from behind her.
She's getting some candy cane. If you know what I'm talking about, brother.
Not the deadly kind.
Yeah, not the deadly kind, but the
soft kind. And she's watching it. I don't know I don't know why she was watching it. Like, was she embarrassed? Was she sad that happened? Or
honestly, I have no idea either. But she's basically saying fuck Santa Claus because she doesn't want to. I guess she's mad because the Kelly blonde took over her man. Maybe, yeah.
I
have no idea. So Megan now hears noises. So what does she do? She goes up to the attic. She sees a snow globe. She says, "Who's fucking with me?" Okay. They see
Not Kyle.
We see yeah, no, not Kyle. He ain't fucking with you. He's already been done that.
He's done. He's on to
Bro,
kill it.
Kyle's explanation, which we'll get into of that tape, was great. All right, so she arrives. She sees the dead Claire, and of course,
Dead Claire.
yeah, she sees dead Claire.
It's not even, she sees the dead Claire in the corner.
That's what she saw.
I know, but it's like you're not saying it's Claire's dead body. You're just saying it's a dead Claire.
The dead Claire. Now she gets bagged in so this killer apparently has been watching Dario Argento films.
Yes.
Because it bags up the girl and then grabs out the eyes. So Megan's dead now.
See, we were talking about the eye thing last time, but so now they did bring the full Jalo thing around.
Okay, so now it becomes my favorite lines in the movies. Oh, you guys know I love those like sexual tension lines. They're like my favorite. So you have a nurse. She goes up to Santa. She's like, "Hey, if I sit on your lap, can I get what I want?" And then the Santa says, "Don't blow it. You've been good all year." She's like, "I won't blow it on the last day." And he says, no, she's like, "I won't blow it on the last day. I'll be good." He's like, "I bet you will." He's like, "Hey, have you seen the back of Santa's sleigh?" He says, "Santa always checks his list, and he knows if you've been naughty."
Hey, Santa, if I sit on your lap, will you give me what I want for Christmas?
I don't know, you've been good all year. You sure you want to blow it on the last day, huh?
I'll be good.
I bet you will. Happy holidays. Ever seen the back seat of a sleigh? Santa checks his list twice. I know you're very, very naughty. Hello?
Santa, my shift's over.
Santa's not one to keep a girl waiting.
And then she's like, "Santa, my shift's over." And Santa, he's like, "Santa never keeps a girl waiting." And then right when he's about to get that poontang, Billy comes, kills him really quick, and takes his costume. And this all happened like 2 seconds.
Yeah, within 2 seconds, there wasn't.
Okay, so we get pretty sure it's Lauren. Bro, these girls are so hard to keep track of.
I know.
All right, so one of them this is Heather. Heather says, "Can Mac open her present first?" And Mac's like, "No, I need you to open Billy's present first." And then she's like, who was supposed to buy Billy a present anyway? And Heather's like, "I was supposed to buy him a present, but I feel weird open up this present for Billy because it's like wrong and it could be a sacrilege or something."
Yeah.
And then our girl Diana goes on this long tirade, reminds me of Bethany's Facebook, about how... Were you going to explain this? You want me to explain?
Yeah, she goes on this long tirade about how Christmas is really paganism and that it was originated in paganism and has nothing to do with Christianity.
Yeah.
And that the Christmas tree was to celebrate the earth or something. I forgot what it was. Like. Yeah. The earth, the mistletoe is some kind of...
grass or something?
No, mistletoe was some kind of ornament or sigil that's supposed to bring good luck.
All I remember saying is Santa was just some fat dude. That's not.
Yeah, and then she says Santa is some fat fucker that breaks into your house and
stares at you. So he's like he's just like Billy.
Yeah.
And then this other girl, I'm pretty sure this is Lauren, says Billy wasn't a serial killer. He was a spray killer.
A spree
killer. I think she said spray. Because I was like, what the fuck's a spray killer? Okay.
Why don't you open the present we got you?
Because we have to open Billy's present first. It's a 15-year Delta Alpha Kappa tradition.
Okay, I drew that name. But can I say, I'm sorry, I'm really not okay with any of this. I mean, buying a Christmas present for a serial killer?
No, you see, serial killers murder repeatedly for sexual thrill. Billy Lenz was a spree killer. Dude just fucking lost it.
Oh, whatever, Melissa. Okay, I'm just offended by a pagan sacrifice to ward off evil spirits on Christmas.
Heather, we're just having a little bit of fun.
Christmas is more about warding off evil spirits than Halloween. What Christmas shit in this room resembles anything Christian, huh? It's all neo-pagan magic. Christmas tree. A magical rite ensuring the return of the crops. The mistletoe is nothing but a conception charm. 5th century Christians jacked a Roman winter festival. 12 days in December where the nights were long and the earth was roamed by the demons of chaos. And fucking Santa Claus? This fat voyeur that watches you all year long to make sure you live up to his standards of decency before breaking into your house? And that is different from what Billy did. How?
Billy didn't break in. Billy lived here.
All right, so and then so basically what they do is they actually open up Billy's presents every year. Why are you yawning over there?
No, I'm not yawning. I'm trying not.
It's Christmas, brother. Wake up. Hey, drink your eggnog or something.
Go.
You know what, Matt? You're technically like a Scrooge on Christmas. You know that?
Oh, I always am.
You know, you should be visited by some ghost or something. Maybe Billy and Iggy Pop will come and get you. Bro, I'm not gonna look at him the same way now.
No.
All right, so basically they open up Billy's present to get away from spirits and shit. All right, so let's see. Oh boy, here we go. So now we get our first Billy flashback.
Oh, shit.
Okay, we are now in 1970. I forget which girl was telling the story, but I think it was Heather. She was the one telling the story. So Billy, apparently he was born with yellow skin.
Yes, because he had liver disease.
Yeah. So the mom did not like Billy at all, but the dad liked him.
Yeah, and Billy's mom did not like his dad. There was a big problem between them.
Yeah. So the mom was like super like weird and bitchy.
Yeah, she smoked and drank a lot, and
so she did.
Not saying that's a problem, but I'm just saying like she was. That was her devoid of doing everything every single day.
So she harkened back to the first Black Christmas of grabbing an ornament and getting pissed off at it, like her boy Peter did. So she breaks the ornament that says "Baby's First Christmas." All right.
That's right.
Yeah. So then we get another flashback of Billy's a little older now, and he puts cookies out for Santa. And this is one of my favorite lines. The mom's like, "Why the fuck you giving cookies?" I gotta say, it's so funny. This is like something I would say, even though I wouldn't.
Who's another Scrooge?
But I would say because it's funny. I wouldn't be like mean spirited like her. She's like, "Why are you giving shit out? Why are you giving cookies out to Santa? He ain't gonna come visit you." I heard that the fucking Russians blew up Santa.
Why are you bothering putting with those cookies? Santa ain't coming to see you. Russians shot his sleigh down. Santa Claus is dead.
I was like, what the fuck did that come from? The fucking Russians blew up Santa?
Well, it's 1975 or something, so they had the Cold War was still going.
So basically, we're showing that the mom's a bitch, and now she's like one of them old bitches that have. He's like, yeah, brother. Hey, fucking Santa and shit.
One of them old bitches.
So now the dad tells Billy to go upstairs and be away. So Billy hides in his little closet.
Oh, yes. He says, there's a gift for you upstairs.
Yeah. So he pulls out the little gift. It's something from Apollo. One of the shuttles. I can't remember which one.
It was like Apollo and I don't know.
So this is when the movie takes a weird turn. So the mom apparently has a new boyfriend. And I'm like, somebody was trying to fuck that old hag? Holy shit. So she brings home this guy, and the guy's like, I'm going to be the new husband now. And so her and the new husband fight. All right, so Billy crawls down to see what's going on. And then he sees his dad getting bagged and fucking stabbed. And I'm like, oh, shit. So that's where Billy came up with the idea, I guess, of bagging and stabbing.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. So Billy's all hiding now, and now he's looking through the walls and stuff, and now he sees his mom and the new boyfriend burying the dad, and this is when we get the first Billy eye. Why are you laughing over that?
Because it's so awful.
It is pretty awful.
The mom and the new boyfriend are buried. Like it's all within the same night. Like it's
yeah. And I like how she like brought him over on Christmas, saying, "Oh, this is your new baby daddy."
That's awful.
Bro, this was something else. This mom was crazy, man. So they try to chase after Billy, but Billy, he locked himself in the attic. Okay, so now we have the phone rings to the house now. Now we're back at the sorority house.
Oh, we got a lot of flashbacks, people.
Kelly answers the phone. She thinks it's her boy Kyle, but it's not. It's now Billy on the voice saying Billy would be home and he wants his Christmas cookies.
You're all gonna die.
You're all gonna die, brother. So now we hear Agnes. This is my family now. Okay. So now they're looking on. So it basically was just one of those weird phone calls we heard from the first movie.
Yeah, it was, and they put it on this time. This time around, it wasn't like they picked up the receiver. They did. But did you notice how old those damn cell phones look? Like, imagine how...
this is 2006, so they had those little flip phones things.
Yeah, they had the flip phones and...
Well, here's where we go. So now they're trying to do like the thing where like they harp at something from the old movie, but they have to like re-adapt it for our new technology. So Lauren's all like...
Which is now completely obsolete,
yeah, it's
even
obsolete
now.
Yeah. So they hang up the phone, but they call back for the caller ID. And apparently it's coming from Claire's cell phone. So I'm guessing they think Claire's trying to make some joke or something. Okay. So now Heather, she's freaked out. All right, because she thinks it's Billy coming back home. All right. So the girl Lauren, she's kind of like the new Barbara. You know what I mean? From the first movie.
Yes.
So Laura makes fun of Heather for having a NASCAR daddy. And then Heather, so Heather's like all kind of pissed off now because she wants to get out of there and go to her family.
And her family's a bunch of rednecks.
Yeah. So this is when we meet this creepy four-eyes girl, and her name is Eve. And like she says,
some creepy four-eyed girl.
Yeah,
because she was wearing glasses.
Okay, this girl was the useless character on this show or this movie.
Yeah,
I thought she was.
There was no character development. I thought that was Agnes.
Yeah, me too. And they made it seem like it kind of was. So she says, everybody, Merry Christmas. And then she says, something about her family. And then she gives Heather a unicorn because she knows Heather likes all that religious stuff.
What the fuck does a unicorn have to do with religion?
I don't know. It just harkens back to the first movie. That's basically what it was. And she says, I know you like the Bible. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Heather then goes upstairs, and now we're in 1982, Matt.
Oh yeah, right? We get another flashback.
Oh my god, the new husband, he's having sex with the mom right now on top of the staircase. All right, and she's going to town on her brother, but he falls asleep. Now I kind of wanted to do my point there, but it's gonna get really creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Okay, so. Don't turn off our podcast, and don't think me and Matt are weird, but I'm about to explain this because this happened on the movie. Okay? So the mom is still horny.
Oh, yeah. Because she can hear Billy upstairs.
Yeah, Billy's upstairs. The mom's horny. The freaking stepdad ain't doing it for her. I guess he had too much of that spiked eggnog. She goes upstairs to Billy. Billy's rocking up in his chair. She goes right in front of him, takes off her dress, and we cut the scene. And then next thing we know...
9 months later,
we have a little Agnes is born.
A little Iggy Pop.
Holy shit, what the fuck's going on? So the mom didn't like the kid and wanted to get rid of him and kill him. But she wants to have sex with him.
Inbreeding.
Bro, what do you think this family is? A little bit like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family, maybe?
A bit, yeah.
Anyway... So now the family, they see Agnes is born, and now the mom says, she's my family now. She says it really loud, so our boy Billy will hear it.
And he's still just kind of rocking in the chair, not caring.
Okay, so now, then after all this scene happens, we do a little flash to Eve. So we're all to believe that Eve is like somebody. Maybe she's Agnes. All right? So the Mac girl, she finds Eve's presents, but Eve's not there to take it, so she disappears. Okay, so... So now Mac is now talking to Melissa about the mom and her dad. All right. And then now they're all talking about gifts they're giving out to each other. And Melissa tells Lauren that somebody gave her some sort of like music box, and Lauren hates music boxes. Got all that?
She probably wants a bottle of whiskey.
Right, yeah, she's ready to go. All right, so Heather's packing up now. Phone rings. Okay? Pretty sure Lauren gets this one. Now, if I fuck up any of the people's, I'm sorry. I couldn't remember all their names. So Lauren, Melissa, one of them, they all look the fucking same, bro. All these three black hair chicks. Shit. All right, so it's Megan's numbers calling them now. And then we just hear a voice that says, "She's my family now." So the on this, when Billy calls, it wasn't as creepy as the first one at all.
No, it was more direct. Like the Billy of last one was like incoherent.
And he's repeating all the lines, and then the girl's like, "Oh, this is not Megan." Yeah, duh.
Duh.
All right, so and it's the call's coming from the okay. So they find out where the call was coming from. Kelly gets Heather to go into Megan's room to see, if she's there or not, if she's pulling some prank. What they find is Kyle. All right. And they're kind of like, what the fuck you doing in here, Kyle?
God damn it, Kyle.
Yeah. Why did you come up Megan's room? And Kyle's like, listen, all right. I wanted to spend the night with you, Kelly, but your door was locked to your window. So Megan's was open, so I just slipped through her house. All right. And then I was like, listen, man, did you call us and stuff from Megan's phone? He's like, no. So Kelly goes in there, starts searching through Megan's room to find Megan or her phone, I guess. And this is when Kyle is kind of a dick to these girls.
Yeah,
like
dude, he turned really...
Yeah, he says like, man, this town used to be different. There used to be bitches came in here and screwed everything up.
Yeah, and he says, like, this is the haunted house.
Yeah, this is the haunted house that used to scare me as a kid. He says, you know the story of the Billy.
Oh, God. And then we go into him telling the fucking story.
Yeah. So now we're in 1991. Oh, boy. All right. Okay, so now Billy, he got a card saying Merry Christmas from his mom and stepdad, and he got a telescope. And now Billy uses the telescope, sees a family next door, and apparently happy families get him triggered. At least it wasn't red, I guess.
Yeah.
So Agnes opens a gift. She's not happy with her gift of some doll. The mom is super creepy. I think she said a line like, "Do you want a Christmas cookie? You're my Christmas cookie because I can gobble you all up." Holy shit. And she has like a smoke breath, Hey, brother. So she sees, so Billy, all right, she is making noise up there, and Agnes thinks, is that Santa's reindeer? And she's like, no. So the phone rings, all right, and the mom answers, and she said, kept saying Merry Christmas. There's nobody on the phone. And then we hear Billy's voice saying, she's my family now. Because Billy was downstairs now, and he kind of looked through Agnes through the Christmas tree. So the mom goes in there. Agnes is gone. Okay.
Freaks out.
Yeah, freaks out. Screams. Billy's there. Stepdad's now woken up. He's pissed. All right.
They both run upstairs, run into the attic to find Billy. Billy is not there, so they decide to run back downstairs.
Yeah, run downstairs. And then they see Billy taking out Agnes's eye. So he has a thing for eyes. He must have loved those Dario Argento films, I swear. He has a thing for eyes. The dad tries to stop him. The dad gets stabbed in the eye. And then the mom tries to stop him, and then she gets choked. And then Billy chokes her with the bag, brings her there, and starts beating her.
Chokes her with the lights from the Christmas tree.
Yeah. The deadly Christmas tree lights. Bro, those things are made of steel, bro. They kill everybody. You gotta have that in every horror movie. You had to get killed by Christmas tree lights. And then Billy beats her with some like batter.
With a
what's that thing? The roller.
Yeah.
Little batter roller. Beat the shit out of her. And then
I lost my mind.
And then Matt, seriously, I thought I broke him with the Iggy Pop, but this first broke him. Motherfucker takes out a cookie cutter with an angel. Like you can make angel cookies. he made angel cookies out of his mom's back and then put them in the fucking oven and then ate them.
The fuck?
Oh my god!
Like there was no reason to put that in there.
There was
no reason.
So the cops show up. They realize that the Agnes is still alive. And then the cop goes and sees Billy, and he's eating his mom Christmas cookies with milk.
So I guess he really wanted those Christmas cookies.
I don't think that's what he meant by Christmas cookies and gobbling you up. So then they go on about saying Agnes, yeah, she's like inbred. Her father was Billy. She was sent to her orphanage.
Her brother,
yeah, it was all for her brother. She was sent to her orphanage, never seen again. Because who would want that girl? It's like, damn, Kyle. All right. Okay. So all the girls freak out now. All right, and they all want to head down to see if they can find Claire and Megan. And then our boy Kyle, he sneaks back to go see Kelly. All right. So Kelly and Kyle start talking. All right. And Kyle is getting a little aggressive with Kelly. Grabs her arm. Because so Kyle basically doesn't want Kelly to look around Megan's room. Because obviously he was hiding something. All right. So they hear a knock at the door. And we see that is actually the sister of Carol. Called Lee. So Lee shows up. She looks old as hell. Not old as hell, but she's older. Yeah. Apparently, she was in the sorority around 1993, 94, and she's kind of... So basically, Claire didn't meet up with Lee, what they were supposed to, because they're sisters, but they don't really know each other. I guess they live separately.
Yeah, right? Well, she's much older than her sister.
And one of my favorite lines from Lee is like, I can't believe I'm meeting with this sister right now because we're trying to mend fences. I could be out with some doctor right now. I'm sure you could. All right, so now Kelly is trying to call Megan's cell phone. All right, so now we see a poster, and the track falls on the poster, so meaning people are upstairs now. Okay, so Lee, she doesn't have any knowledge of where her sister's at, and she doesn't have any knowledge of the sorority house because she didn't really like it when she was there. And then she sees, oh, look, this is a present. I see that something hasn't changed because now she finds a present, but this present is a little different. This present is from Billy to the sorority house, and the girls are noticing like, oh, this is weird. So they tell her to open it. She opens it, and it's one of Bethany's dolls. Shows up. Except the eyes are popped out. She's like all over these movies, man. I shouldn't even know. So Kyle stops Kelly from looking on Megan's computer. Because, we have some action going on over there. So and this is when Lee gives her story about her sister and how they were kind of separated and they never really knew each other. And they realized that the paper that was on the puppet or the doll was the same paper that Eve gave to them. It was a paper from December 6, 1991, which is obviously when Billy did all his murders. So Lori, she is now drunk and she throws up. And she is throwing up a fucking ton.
She throws up, yeah. Well, she was drinking a ton. She drank like tequila and then she was drinking wine.
So now the lights go out. And now this is when Kelly finds out that Kyle was having sexual relations with that Megan girl because the lights went out but the computer was still on. And the little screensaver went off. And our girl Kelly saw Kyle and all his action. And this is my favorite line by Kyle. He goes, listen, a guy from work got mad at me, so he stole all my tapes and he randomly put them on the internet.
Look, this was before you came here. Okay, I did not put this on the net. A guy in my work, he got pissed off at me, and he stole my tapes.
Tapes? Kyle? How many are there, you fucking liar?
How many tapes do you have?
How many tapes you got, you fucking liar? And then, so now this is when our girl Heather she's now going to be looking in the attic now. Okay? Kelly's upset. So Heather finds,
No, Heather goes into Eve's room. Because they're...
Yeah. Heather goes to Eve's room, but then she hears a noise from the attic. Now she goes in the attic. Okay. So Heather finds... Okay, so Heather finds like these articles and these pictures on Billy. Okay. Kelly tells Kyle to leave. All right, and Kyle is now pissed. All right, and Kyle's like basically saying like, fuck you girls now, fuck you all you bitches. Okay, and then
fuck all you girls, fuck all you bitches.
Yeah, he said more than that, but I don't remember. So that Laura girl, she's still drunk. All right.
Yeah, she is.
She's throwing up a storm.
Yeah, because she then runs into the bathroom with the Melissa. Is that who chases after her?
Yeah.
Melissa chases after her, and she's throwing up in the toilet. Lauren is.
Yeah, so now during this time, the Diana girl, all right, she doesn't want to go outside to check the power, but the Lee is like basically telling her to get out there. Okay. So Melissa is now checking on the Laura. She's drunk. She tells Lauren to take a shower. All right, but during this, Lauren's kind of like pushing up some of the tile. All right. So
yeah, the tile from the bathroom floor is coming off.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, who's staring through this tile floor? But our boy Billy. And then eventually, our girl Lauren takes off her clothes, starts to take a shower, and of course, our Billy has now become a peeping Tom. Because he's staring.
There's this little eye that keeps moving around.
Yeah. So Lauren gets out of the shower, and then Melissa asks her, she's feeling good, you drunk bitch. Yeah, buddy.
She puts her to bed.
Yes, and then Billy moves throughout the house now, so he's now a house mover. All right. And then now Melissa puts Lauren in bed. So we get Diana, she's smoking a cig outside, throws the cig down a hole, looks through the hole, and now she hears some noises. Okay. So now throughout the house, the Mac girl, the older girl, is trying to calm everybody down from being a little worried about the electricity going out. Okay, so Diana's now looking down in the little basement area, kind of like where the the little
under the porch.
Under the porch, yes. And she's all like, "Eve, I know it's you. I can hear you breathing, but it's not." It's
yes, because she's looking for the.
Oh boy! All right, Matt. On Christmas, you get a Christmas present. There you go. Can't beat that. All right, so let's see. Diana, she's down there. She thinks it's the Eve, but it's not. It's the killer. The killer puts the bag over her, starts stabbing him. Oh, Eve actually grabs a pitchfork, puts it into his leg, but then leaves it there. Killer grabs it, and then bam. So Diana
is gone.
Out. She's out. It's pretty crazy, though. But this scene was crazy because she was still kind of alive, and she was staring at the dead skull.
Of Billy's dad.
Yeah. So Lee, she's now going up to the attic. Okay, she's about to go up to the attic because she hears some noise. All right, but we have Mac, Heather, Kelly, and Melissa, and they're sitting around. All right, and then they get a call. All right, and
it's on the cell phone this time, right?
From the cell phone. All right, and it says they want to look for Diana because Diana hasn't showed up yet. All right.
This time they split up.
Yeah, so they go outside. All right, they see the car door open, so they kind of split up. So two of them go out to go find Diana. Two of them see the car, the Eve was driving.
Oh, in this where Mac and Heather go out and get the car ready.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
No. You're getting
boy.
Okay.
We go through. God, this ran a little bit.
All right, this is basically what happened was Kelly and then the Heather girl, they find the dead Diana.
Yes.
And at the same time, the other two girls, they find the dead Eve.
Eve.
Yeah, her head falls off in front of the car.
Yeah, they all freak out.
They all go back inside. Heather and all of them, they want to leave. They're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. They try to call up. Kelly tries to call up the police. Police can't be there. They're not going to be there
because the storm has come through.
Yeah, they're like 3 girls are missing. There's 2 of them dead outside. There's a storm coming, so the police can't be there until like 2 hours. So then they all start freaking out on Mac because Mac wants to leave, but the other girls want to stay in the house and get their territory.
Save and they think that they can save Claire or save the others that are missing.
Because Lee doesn't want to leave because she doesn't want her sister to come back and she's not there. Okay. Got all that? All right, so
keep going. That was good. You're getting it.
Yeah. So that girl is still sleeping. All right.
Oh yeah, Lauren is still sleeping in the bed. She's drilling on herself.
So
Melissa goes to wake her up.
So now, like the Kelly and Melissa. So Kelly and Melissa are gonna stay, and Lee, and the girl that's sleeping upstairs, Laura. But Mac and Heather, they're gonna leave. So they both get into the car now. All right. Mac's all pissed off right now. She shows Heather the little broom because her car couldn't start.
Because she says to wipe the snow off the front of the car, and she says, "You idiot," because Heather doesn't know how to use it because she's from the South.
Yeah. So now the Max, she's all pissed and stuff. So she starts brushing to the car. Billy's in the car now. Kills Heather. Why we see his little eye pop. We keep seeing the eye. The eye wasn't as good as the first movie, but they keep harping it back to it. And then after that, he eventually freaks out Mac. She falls, and then that fucking
icicle hits her in the head.
Ugh.
And goes right through the head.
Imagine that really happened, bro. That
has happened.
Oh,
I've heard stories about that happening up north.
So at the same time, we see Billy.
I don't think people died, but I think they did get incredibly injured.
Yeah, so she gets impaled by the ice. So during this, we see Billy. He grabs a snow globe and he grabs the unicorn. So we know some shit's going down. So now we got Kelly and Lee there together, but Lee, she slips on blood. She starts freaking out. Okay, so now we're upstairs with Melissa. She is she's upstairs now, trying to So Melissa is trying to get Lauren to wake up, okay, to get her down so they all now can
all of them are together.
To all stay together. So during this, she hears a bunch of sounds, and of course it's the killer.
Yes,
and they start fighting a little bit. Melissa tries to get out the window. The building's locked. And she actually grabs a weapon.
She whacks him with it.
She whacks him with it a little bit, but then the killer grabs a skate and just throws it at her and chops off her head. He must be a really good thrower. Just chops off really easy. So now the killer has killed them.
The killer has killed them.
Okay. So now we got Laura. All right.
God, thank God we're dwindling down here because there's so many names.
Oh, God, so many names. So Lee.
Yes.
Okay, Lee and Kelly go find Melissa.
Right.
Melissa's dead, but then they go find Laura. Laura is now dead. Her eyes
in
are
her
out.
bed. Yeah, she's got.
They try to get out of the house. Kyle appears. Okay.
Oh yeah, because first they think someone's coming through. Somebody else is now coming through and knocking on the door, and they think it's the killer.
Yeah.
So they run upstairs. Lee slams the door shut, gets a poker. I don't know what kind of poker it is, but some kind of like poker, and is about to stab whoever's coming through the door in the face, but it's Kyle this time.
Yes.
And Kyle's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, he just randomly shows up.
Yeah, he just randomly shows up.
Bitch. So, and then this time, Lee thinks Claire's still alive, but Kyle is basically saying, no, it's not. So basically, Kyle's like, okay, let's all leave this house right now because we're about to get killed. And then Lee doesn't want to leave because she wants to find her sister because she thinks the sister's still alive. So they hear some noises from the attic. So Kyle's idea is like, listen, I'm going to open up the attic. You girls look in there. If you see a dead body, we're all running. Good plan, bro.
Good plan, man.
Good plan. And he's kind of a bitch during all this, too.
Yes.
So Kyle, he goes up there, he opens the door, the girls get the flashlight on it. I don't see anything. They totally fucked up that plan. And then eventually Kyle gets grabbed and back, brother.
And pulled up and put a bag over his head.
And now they're fighting. The killer and Kyle are fighting. And this is when the killer grabs the unicorn and they're fighting for a little bit and then he eventually stabs the unicorn in Kyle's face. So we get a flashback to the fucking unicorn.
They keep using this stupid unicorn to kill people. It's so stupid.
The first movie did it good, but
yeah, this is just ridiculous because he used it over and over again like it's an actual murder weapon.
So both the girls go up there. Lee and Kelly upstairs now. They're fighting. They see all this. They see all the dead sisters now. All their eyes out. Okay, and Lee now falls to the attic. Now there's a reason that the Billy and the Agnes have the dolls with the eyes out, because the doll that got sent had no eyes. All right, so apparently they have the thing about not having any eyes.
Yes. So you see this You see now that there's
and that Eve girl, she sucked it. She didn't do anything in this movie.
No. She was
like a tree ornament.
Yeah, she was a tree ornament, and you see that that Billy has made this ornament array with all the people involved.
Yeah.
Putting them like as a family or whatever, and Lee sees that her sister is in the chair, and she freaks out. Oh my God, she's dead! And then finally, Kelly this time stabs, starts fighting with the killer, who we think is Billy at the time.
Yes.
Who looks like Iggy Pop right now.
Oh my God.
We get a clear view of what the killer looks like, and it looks like Iggy Pop.
Bro, it looks like Iggy Pop. So Iggy Pop is apparently a serial killer.
And
apparently it's supposed to be a woman.
Yes. And so we find out that the killer is not Billy. Yeah. It is Agnes that has escaped. And then finally Billy.
Oh boy, this part was funny. So she is all like, Billy's not here to see you, and Agnes is all like, yeah, he's not here to see me, but my daddy is. Oh my God.
They're not your family. Agnes. I'm not your family. And your brother's not here.
No, my daddy's here.
And then Billy pops up from underneath the floor.
Then we have this whole fight scene. So Agnes actually falls through a crack. And then Kelly falls through the crack. And now Billy's trying to go down the crack. Kind of like a little crack of the house.
Yeah, the side of the house. Like where the wall is. Like in between the outside wall and the inside wall. Where the drywall is.
So during this whole time, Kelly's screaming for Lee's help. Because Lee fell through the little door. Fell to the attic. And they're trying to break. They're trying to break through all the walls.
Here we go.
All right. So eventually, after taking forever, Lee finally breaks Kelly through the wall. Okay. And during all this, scuffle, there was candles up there.
Yes, there's
candles. And now
candles.
the candle is now burning up the house. So we get our famous
it
burning.
It sets the Christmas tree on fire.
Yes.
And we have this fight, this stupid scene where Agnes, Iggy Pop is on the ground, trying to crawl up, and Kelly is in between, trying to hold on to the Christmas lights, and trying to climb up and being saved by Lee, and Billy is trying to climb down. And so finally Kelly gets broken out of the wall by Lee, and they escape, and the Christmas tree ends up now falling down onto Iggy Pop and Billy.
Yes.
And we presume that they are dead.
Plus, one of them, either Lee or Kelly, pour bleach. So the house can go on fire, and they skedaddle out in there. So now we're at the hospital. There's some news reporter saying, this is supposed to be a quiet Christmas in the town, but Billy and Agnes made it wild. They didn't really say that, but that's basically what they're saying.
Escaped and turned it into terror.
Yeah, turned it into terror. So we see Kelly, she's in the bed, and then now Lee is all like, has a present that Claire was supposed to give her, and she was like, well, I can never open this in front of my real sister, but you'll just have to do. So she opens up the present. It's basically some watch that says family forever. All right, so there. Movie supposed to end?
Yes.
No, it doesn't. All right, so now the nurse takes Kelly away to get some x-rays. Okay. Lee's up there. She hears a bunch of noise from the attic now.
Oh, no, we forgot where they... Yeah, so now, before that happened, there's a scene...
that guy.
Yes.
Oh, my God, how can I forget about that guy?
Okay, so there's a scene where the mortuary assistant is bringing in the bodies of all the dead, and Agnes and Billy. And he's talking to his wife, says, I'll be home for Christmas. I don't know, I got to do all this stuff. I have to identify all these bodies. He's holding he has one of those old phone things that you used to put in your ear. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the Bluetooth thing.
No, it didn't even know Bluetooth at that time. It was it was hooked up to the cell phone.
Oh, okay.
And you would turn it on and turn it off with it hooked up to your ear.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he's talking to her, and he's talking about, oh man, I'll be here, and then He takes a bottle of whatever, like whiskey or whatever, and eggnog, and drinks it.
Spiking up the eggnog.
And all of a sudden, Billy wakes up. Billy comes out of the body bag.
No. First, they hear a noise. He hears a noise, and he opens it, and it's actually Agnes.
Yes, it's Agnes.
And then Billy pops out of the bag, and then kills our boy, the nurse.
Yeah, it kills him with one of those, with a cranium saw, which cuts open the skull, and wakes up Agnes. Agnes.
That scene, right when I saw that scene, that's when I was like, that's Iggy Pop. I got it. Holy shit. All right, so they're awake now. Now they're basically they're on the roof now, and Lee can't figure it out. She's like, oh, there's random noises coming from this hospital roof. That's weird. I haven't seen that anywhere before. Really?
I haven't spent hours being chased by somebody who's crawling through the ceiling.
Yeah, so first, so they basically end up killing her.
Yeah.
Do you remember how? They just kind of got her. They kind of sneak up behind her.
Yes, they did. They didn't show how they killed her.
Yeah, because for some reason, no. This is no, my bad. So Lee goes back in the house, in the room, and she sees somebody on the bed, and she's all like, Kelly, I thought they were taking X-rays of you. She turns her over, and it's Agnes, and Agnes kills her. Then Kelly shows up. She's all like, where is Lee? Where did she go? And the nurse is like, I don't know. She probably just left somewhere. So Kelly's back in bed, finds the bloody watch. All right. She's like, oh, she kind of freaks out now. The door is now stuck. She can't get out. All the nurses are hearing carol people downstairs. And now we get Agnes and Billy crawling from out of the fucking ceiling. And then our girl Kelly, the only scrappy one of all of them, grabs the shock machine.
She brings in the the things that pump your heart. I forgot what EKG.
Yeah,
whatever. Not EKG.
Shocks the fuck out of Iggy Pop.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, people.
Yeah, Iggy Pop's not been shocked. He's gone. Billy comes
shocked in the face.
Yeah, Billy comes. They finally get out. They start scruffling for a little bit. Kelly runs. This is a weird part. Kelly runs into a nurse, and then a nurse is a kind of tray thing. And Billy's there, grabs a knife, and starts chasing and starts cutting Kelly. And there was no people to help her.
Yeah, no one stops him.
They just grabs him. And, yeah. So eventually Kelly outmaneuvers him.
Yeah.
What a maneuver. And then Billy falls down and gets impaled by the Christmas tree. And that's our Harvey Weinstein or Bob Weinstein finish.
That was a Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein. Yeah.
We get it finished. The killer's dead. And that is it for Black Christmas 2006 remake. So it's kind of a hard one to get through, but it was a very interesting movie.
It was interesting to see, like you and me were talking about this, we were talking about how could this be different from Black Christmas from 74, the original, and how is it different from 2006? We were kind of interested to see how this would turn out. And, they were talking about, oh man, he was such a fan of the original. But the thing is about the original was that it was it was before the time of all those kinds of movies.
Yeah. Well, the thing is about the original I noticed is like the characters had like real life issues going on.
Had real issues and seemed like real. Well, I think they also had really good actors in the role.
Yeah. And like this one, it wasn't like bad, but you could tell it had the horror movie cheese theme to it.
Yeah.
All the girls, some of the girls are sluts, some of the girls are bitches. The guy's obviously a pervert. You know, like classic stuff you have to have in horror
classic
movies.
80s and tropes and 90s tropes and
catchphrases,
cuss words,
corny lines.
Yeah.
Now the gore in this was pretty good.
Gore. Gore's all right.
Stuff,
but it was over the top. Like what I appreciated about what I appreciated about the original one was that there wasn't a lot of it, but it was brutal.
Yeah.
Like the cutaways were amazing because you're just like, wow.
Also too, the character of the Billy and this movie wasn't scary at all.
No, he like I said, he reminded me of the dude from X-Files, the one that slipped in and out of things. Yeah. And because he had that yellow skin too.
And Agnes, I mean, come on now. Yeah. Like I can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought it was more creepier in the first one when he was all like,
It was just him, and he, yeah.
He's like obviously he was some schizo guy.
Is that you, Agnes?
And this one they try to make him some sort of monster or something.
Yes, they didn't make him like he was just some madman that showed up that snuck into the house.
So it's not necessarily bad film. Like this beats Halloween Resurrection, of course.
Oh yeah. Anything beats Halloween Resurrection.
But comparing the two, obviously our opinion, the Black Christmas might have taken this one away.
We'll probably always side with the original, but
most people do anyway.
Yeah,
but it's always fun to remake stuff, and this one had some good parts to it. I mean, it did have some useless characters, like Eve and our boy Kyle barely did anything too. But it had a tone of sisterhood and kind of stuff from the original one.
Family. We're all together.
So everybody, that now concludes our holiday horror 2-month experience. So we are going to be out of the Christmas horror themed vibes in January, where in January we'll be reviewing 3 films. We'll be doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface #3, continuing our series-long review of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. We'll also be finishing up Halloween finally with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and a very special New Year's 2018 starting off strong with Slaughter High.
Okay, by the end of this, so you people are now also listening to this, if you're listening to the ending, what was your pick out of all of them? Out of all the holiday movies that we've done, what was your favorite one?
This year? Or all the ones we have ever done?
Out of this year.
Okay, out of this year... Oh, man. That's a tough one. Okay, so... For... I would say, okay, so for cheesiness... And for good lines that I remembered, I'll probably go with the Silent Night remake, 2012. I really like that movie.
Okay, yeah.
I thought that movie was a bit better than this one.
Yes, I agree. They're kind of on the same.
Yeah. This one wasn't bad though. The Black Christmas 2006. Now for originality and difference, like I'll have to go with Black Christmas.
Yes.
I thought Black Christmas might have been my favorite one.
Yeah,
just
Black
because
Christmas.
It's so different.
Yes.
Than all horror movies you would see nowadays, based on like if you watch a lot of them like we do.
Yes.
Like it was just like the characters were like they're like just different,
sophisticated and good people, and you really cared about them.
Even the barber girl.
Yes.
She was supposed to be like the wild, crazy one.
But you liked her. Yeah. She really liked her.
Yeah, because she was funny. So I would say Black Christmas is probably the favorite one we did. Now, Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 still might be my favorite holiday horror movie of all time so far.
I think I'll go with Black Christmas for mine.
Black Christmas? Okay, there you go.
And what do you think is... here's a really messed up question. What do you think is the movie of the year, horror movie of the year this year? Or did you watch a lot?
I watched a couple horror movies of this year.
I might know which one you'll pick.
The one I think I enjoyed the most that I know got a little bit of hate, but was probably The Void.
Yes.
I kind of like that one.
I did, yeah.
I can't remember what else I watched. Like that was actually from this year. Besides other ones we reviewed.
Yeah.
I saw this one movie that was horrendous.
Yeah.
Bro, this movie, everybody out there, if you guys seen this movie, it's on Netflix right now called Red Christmas. Bro, this proves that Netflix will buy anything. This movie kind of had
the same... They will, like any horror.
So this movie had the same kind of tone, like not the same, they had the same subject of abortion, but it was so corny. This is the most corniest film I've ever seen. Oh my God, everybody, Red Christmas, I do not recommend it. If you want to suffer during your holiday season. You know what that kind of reminded me of? The Red Christmas. You remember how Silent Night, Deadly Night, Initiation was? Where it was just some film and it just so happened to be Christmas?
Yeah. That's how this was.
Red Christmas was just like that. It just so happens to be Christmas.
It just happens to be on the Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, so corny.
I guess my pick for the year, I thought about The Void, but I think mine has to be this year. You didn't see it, was Raw.
Raw, yeah, okay.
Raw was, I thought, that was another movie that got a lot of hate because I think there was a lot of hype behind it because it was supposed to be disturbing and whatever. And it was. It did.
I have two that I just remembered that were pretty good.
Okay.
One gets a lot of love called Get Out.
Oh, yes. Get Out, yes.
That one's pretty good. Very interesting. I just love it how all white people are dangerous in the movie, which is funny.
Well, that's how Keenan Peele was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And the autopsy of Jane Doe.
That was that was interesting.
So those are pretty good. I would say. I know.
People are probably going to say the top, like, you idiots. Top horror of this year was It.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, duh. Yeah, that was probably.
But as my personal pick that I think people should watch, and it's on Netflix, is Raw. Like,
honestly, now that you mentioned it, I'll probably have to go with It.
Yeah, It was probably and I'll have to go and say that's probably the top horror film this year. Is
it was really good.
Yeah.
There was one that came out this year that we will be reviewing, Leatherface.
Right. Correct.
The origins of Leatherface. Leatherface, yeah. Whatever. It's late on Christmas, brother. I have too much eggnog. I can't remember nothing.
I know.
All right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a great Christmas, a happy holidays from the Faces of Fear. And if you're like our girl, Lauren, where you drink too much of that eggnog, start throwing up, remember, if you see a tile missing from your shower, it's definitely your boy Billy being his best peeping Tom.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And like I said, we'll be back in January with Halloween Resurrection.
What?
Yeah, no, Halloween 2, Rob Zombie.
I was like, we're not watching that again.
Anyway, who cares? Everybody, we'll be back at the beginning of the year with Slaughter High. What a fantastic movie.
Oh, yeah.
We gave you guys a treat. Trust me. All right. And remember, if you're like our boy, drinking up your eggnog in the morgue, remember, those bodies will come back, and they'll make sure you have a bloody mess afterwards. Merry Christmas. And a happy fucking New Year.
Set. Action. Cut.
Seems to be an homage to the original.
Ripping it off. I don't know if we did it as well. Black Christmas. There was a pay channel in San Diego called Channel 100. And when my family moved from Syracuse, San Diego in '75, I saw it on that. Again and again and again. Well, it's producer, but it's a guest here that I want to welcome. It's the reason we're all here. This is Bob Clark. He directed the original Black Christmas.
It's feeling fabulous. I'll tell you guys, everything about it just feels fabulous.
Black Christmas is a psychological horror film. It's set in a small college town at a sorority where girls are celebrating the last day before they go for their Christmas holiday. And they're not aware of it, but there's a stalker amongst them and is making monstrous phone calls within this very large house.
That must be Kyle. What do I do? Answer it.
What was said to us was you either made porno films or horror films. That was your choice. And I wasn't interested in making porno films, so that's how we came to the point where we shot Black Christmas in 1974. It did very well in Canada. It never really caught on in the States, but it began very quickly to become kind of an underground film.
It was one of those films that kind of went out of circulation, wasn't available for years and years. Many people had seen Black Christmas, but people didn't know what it was that they'd seen. They couldn't remember the title of it. It had been Silent Night, Evil Night. It had been A Stranger in the House. And then you've got the confusion over When a Stranger Calls and its remake as well. So people always remember that tale of the killer in the sorority house or the house making phone calls, but I don't think people really associated it with Black Christmas, so to speak.
There were real characters in jeopardy. There were social issues involved. You had a movie that had very little gore. The next step to that is Halloween, which is still a pretty great movie, but when you go back and look at Black Christmas, you go, oh my God.
That was one of the innovations that the original Black Christmas had. They had this thing for the cameraman to strap the camera onto his body, and so he could climb, with his hands, and you see his hand in frame, which was something they hadn't done before.
The handheld, wide-angle stuff, the way the girls are, the way the scenes kind of develop with the murder, how much Black Christmas, the original, influenced Halloween.
A lot of people, when you tell them that Black Christmas was made 4 years before Halloween, they're kind of taken aback, and I think now it's starting to get the credit that it deserves, and obviously with the remake going on, it brings even more to public attention, Whenever anybody tackles a cult classic, the fans of the original are always going to scream and cry on the internet and say, why, you can't touch a classic. And that's not what's being done. It seems to me like a whole brand new film is being created. If fans of the original don't want to see it, they can keep the 1974 original intact. But whatever happens, at the end of this year, 2 films are going to exist, and I guess people are just going to have to deal with it.
I'm an internet nerd, so I read everything that's out there that people say on the message boards, and the die-hard horror fans, you know, they assume it's going to be PG-13 and all this stuff, but it's R, it's frightening, it takes it to a different place. I almost don't even think of it as a remake. I feel like it's just sort of based on the original.
It's different with a movie like this, because we're talking about a cult movie that wasn't as mainstream as some of these other remakes like Amityville and Texas Chainsaw. This is something that the select few have seen. You know, I think that this will stand on its own.
Glenn really loved this movie and told me how much he loved it and wanted to do this. And they haven't said, hey, why don't we just copy every single thing that Bob Clark did and every single thing the writers did and just spit it out again. They took it to another level where they said, let's make it our own, but respect the fact that it was a great movie to begin with and write a new script. And that's what they've done. And I think the fanatic fans out there will be okay with it because Bob Clark's attached.
So you see the Bob Clark lamp? Paying him respect. It was in my office for a while, and I really enjoyed coming to work and turning on the light.
I know Glenn and Jim are great, but the rest of the world may not know how great they are, so it makes me feel like, you know, people will be much more accepting.
He's been really supportive. I think he is aware that I have respect for what he did, and in turn, he has respect for what different things that I want to do.
I pretty much stayed out of it. You don't need the old hand weaving with the new hand, and my confidence in Glenn and James is very, very high.
Okay.
I talked with a little bit about some of the ideas as he was writing the screenplay, and his basic idea of going back and unthreading Billy and Agnes and what that's all about and bringing it forward through the story, I thought was brilliant, because it's still Black Christmas, but it's exploring more rather than simply repeating.
Why are you bothering putting with those cookies? Santa ain't coming to see you.
Remember, she just said, like, Santa Claus is not going to bring you anything. You got to give it super mean look. Give it all. That's the worst thing anyone's ever said to you.
Santa Claus is dead.
The New Art in Los Angeles had a midnight screening, and Bob spoke. Said, well, something happened. Billy had abused the baby. I was sort of surprised that he didn't have a more definitive origin. Billy! You know, I wanted to deal with some of the family thematics or elements, and Edmund Kemper was a serial killer whose mother locked him in the basement because she was afraid that he was going to attack and rape her. And now he had these feelings of guilt for feelings that he didn't really have, but then he had them. And so he had hate and arousal and everything just mixed together down in the basement. So they just kind of cooked a serial killer. Ultimately, he attacked his mother and ripped out her larynx or something and put her head on a mantle and threw darts at it for 3 days. Believe it or not, that's where the Billy thing started.
I'm Robert Mann, and I play Billy the psychopath. There are some flashbacks right from the start. Billy's mom isn't too fond of the jaundiced Billy, and he's treated rather badly. Billy's made to live in the attic, and it's just a time bomb.
Do you want a Christmas cookie? You're my cookie, and I could gobble you up.
Billy? Often a lot of anger is really sadness.
Is that Santa's reindeer?
But opening up that Pandora's box of deep sadness, it's often easier to switch to anger and, unfortunately, to let hatred boil.
Okay, fight, struggle, harder, more, struggle, so go, camera. And look. Go! Billy! Where's Agnes?
I don't intend to reveal it, but I had a history for Billy. I created that as I created the phone calls. So what went over the phone, as outrageous as it sounds, all makes sense.
I think someone's in trouble.
What your mother and I must know is where is Agnes?
The fact that the calls are coming from inside the house really isn't the twist. You know, it had to be taken to a different level because everybody knows that the killer's within the house. It's an idea that people are familiar with by now, and it's not this big shock like it was when it first came out.
I'm gonna kill you.
Call the police. There's a lot more twists to come after that, so you don't have to worry about, oh, that's it, they gave that away, and now the rest of it is boring.
So then we'll give you a cue. You guys can come to the table, except for Crystal, who stays there. So Vandy, you're here.
Yeah.
Michelle, you get kind of right in behind her. The phone, you can look at the phone, but what's coming out of there is so creepy that you're not focusing on.
Good. Alpha Kappa. We had just been having the script supervisor read the lines, it's Billy, and this kind of a normal voice.
Where is Agnes? She's our family now.
Shouldn't you get going? Don't you have lots of toys to deliver to good little boys and girls?
Well, we're doing our close-ups, and Glenn didn't tell us that he was going to read it, and the first time he read it, I was so startled.
Billy, what have you done? What your mother and I must know is, what did you do with the baby?
It was kind of freaky because the way he did it, he was like, making all these weird noises, and it was definitely kind of shocking, which is good. We all kind of had a little reaction to it, but it helped us a lot. Thank you, Glenn.
You're my family now.
I think someone's in trouble.
This is our production coordinator.
You're my family now.
That sounds bad.
You're my family now.
She lost her voice and we made her come in and do the voiceover for Billy.
Billy! Billy!
I phoned Glenn Morgan at his hotel and left the message, "You're my family now," in my hideous, sick voice, at both his hotel and his cell phone, and I simply hung up. I didn't identify myself at all.
You're my family now.
I think just after this she threw up.
Billy, what have you done, Dimmy?
Your mother sucks in hell.
There's 3 known actresses from the original.
Cut.
We went from Rosemary's Baby into The Exorcist. And back. I think Margot Kidder's pretty great, but my brother and I would just not go out on weekends to watch SCTV and just to be able to work with Andrea Martin. She's terrific.
Door kicks, you get in. Self-explanatory.
Well, that's some good direction. All right, let's go.
About a week into the production, Glenn very shyly said that he was a fan of SCTV, but he didn't tell me that initially.
I've gone and done jobs with idols and people that you go, it'll be a dream come true, and it was just a freaking nightmare. So for Andrea to be so professional and wonderful and supportive, on a movie that was 35 years ago, that's not the highlight of her career,
Well, that's the spirit.
to be just so great was just wonderful.
Mrs. Mack is the house sorority mother. I'd say there was no channeling from the original person. In fact, I haven't seen Black Christmas for about 30 years, so I wish my memory was more accurate than it is, because I can't really remember what she did in the movie, other than I think she hid liquor, but that's not the direction I chose.
Any of the girls need to be consoled by the adult?
Times are changed, and the girls are much more sophisticated, so I think a house mother has to be pretty on top of her game.
So no hair makeup, fine? It's okay.
This is scene 37, which is the first scene that we see all sorority girls in the house. It's the first time we see the inside of the house establish 5 of the different characters.
Okay. Merry Christmas. Bye. This was definitely my first time working with a bunch of my peers at the same time. I've done movies, with 1 or 2 girls, but to have, I think it's 7, 8.
It's sort of been like a sorority on set. We've had a really fun time. There hasn't been any bitch fighting or anything yet.
Why don't you just look outside?
Let's see, should I go home and go to some fabulous Christmas party?
Glenn and Jim wanted actresses that were all sort of the same caliber, so that you wouldn't really know, oh, this person is the name, this person's a star, that means they're going to live till the end, that means they're going to, survive. So I thought that was an interesting way of doing it, that it's not going to be like a bunch of actors who've never done anything getting killed off, and then the one girl who we all know lives in the end.
Haley Mark.
I play Heather Fitzgerald. She's sort of the southern debutante of the sorority house. She's a bit of a prude, a little snobby, and a little uptight.
You shouldn't provoke someone like that.
What would you know about dealing with anyone other than a NASCAR daddy? Heather, who's played by Mary, is like my polar opposite. But we're actually roommates.
Yeah, we found that odd since basically in every scene we're at odds with each other. But I guess we sort of came up with the idea that maybe that's why we can't stand each other, is because we don't get along and we can't stand being roommates and we just want to, cut each other's throats. So I guess that could be the reason behind it.
At least my family wants me to come home.
Ouch.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't mess with Mary.
Don't mess with Mary.
Where people ended up in the house was based primarily on the way that Glenn needed the blocking to work. When I design, I have a tendency to read the script, talk to the director, and plan my sets based on that. I went to the original film because I know it had inspired Glenn, and I knew that there was a specific atmosphere created. I wanted to see what it was like. The original house was in Toronto, although in reality, it's a very warm family home. Its first impression is pretty ominous. If you look at both films, you'll find that visually there are certainly some parallel structures. The thing that I am most satisfied with is the separation between the Lenz house, the original family home, and the sorority house. The approach that we took was that here were two characters who lived in a house who didn't really belong there, that somehow they'd inherited it from Granny and just let it slide downhill. If we could make a house where you didn't want to touch anything, we pretty much had it. Our second incarnation of the house was the local universities taking it over and turned it into a sorority house for comfortable young ladies. We had the sorority house underneath all of the wallpaper and paint in the Lenz house and stripped some wall covering off and got automotive buffers and polished the place up to bring it up to the sorority house. There's very strong similarities physically, but they're totally different environments.
Haley Mark.
I play Dana. I'm a little bit of a spoiled princess. I'm very rich and I have everything I want, and I think quite a bit of myself.
What? I'm not the totally helpless daddy's girl these bitches make me out to be.
Okay, then go outside and turn the power on.
Are you high?
So the scene where I'm going underneath the house to reset the breaker, the trapdoor slams behind me. Well, it slammed a little too soon and it got my ankle and it hurt so bad, but I was so embarrassed. And it was my first day. I flew back to LA and went straight to the emergency room.
This is gonna be my new look. Yeah, with the crutch.
I'm explaining to the doctor and they're like, did you mean for the door to slam on your leg? I'm like, this is not a self-inflicted injury. I'm filming a movie.
Try again. Okay. Cut.
I said, wait a second, I know this is crazy, but is there any way this is Black Christmas? And my daughter is Katie Cassidy. So it turned out it was her stepfather that was the ER doctor that saw me that night.
That's good. After the lights go out, everything is below key, which means it's underexposed. And even the brightest thing in the frame is underexposed, and then everything else falls off from there. And anytime you're working at those levels, you have to be very, very careful because there's always a point at which if you go over the edge, you have nothing. It makes for much more painstaking work. We don't have room to get a light in the room, so we're going to put it out here, and when we turn around, we'll just hang the picture back over the hole. Perfect, look at that. Usually production designers get pissed off at you if you pull a saw out, but this is the first time I've ever had to do it before, so I don't think he's going to get too annoyed. I remember the first day he brought dailies back. There was a little bit of apprehension about how he felt about them, and I looked at them, Glenn looked at them, Jim looked at them, we all thought it was fantastic. I'm trying to make it feel as much like just a house, your house, my house, that the lights have gone out in as I can. And how they look in that will depend on where they land in a particular light at which time. Sometimes they look fabulous and sometimes not so great. But most of the time when it's not so great, it's also good for the story too, because everybody's having their pants scared off them.
When I read the script, I was actually alone in my house, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I started reading, and I'm like, no, I'll be fine. It's probably not that scary. Black Christmas. I mean, it's a holiday movie. And then all of a sudden, like, my toilet started making weird noises, and my TV started, like, going haywire. So it freaked me out.
And once more from the top.
Since my Buffy days, I wanted to sort of stay away from the horror movie genre, but I'd spoken to Glenn, and he just had a really, really cool vision, and I felt that he had the heart and soul to make it a really cool, freaky movie, not just about, like, raw, gory death.
Let's do one more right away.
Sometimes it would rain and the fake snow would turn into like this nasty glue in our hair and on our clothes, and I have to fall in the snow. I thought it was all fake snow. So I was like, oh, it won't be cold. And I fall like face forward. Middle of the scene, I finally realized that it's freezing cold and it's definitely not fake snow. But I think in the end, you have to be willing to do that to make a good movie. You know, it has to be real. Some of it's going to be, you know, a little bit painful. But when you do something like that and then whoever it might be comes up and is like, that was so good, you know, that's when it really pays off and you're like, yes, you know, you feel really good about it. I play the role of Kelly Presley, who is the freshman in the sorority. She basically is treated like everyone's, you know, little sister. They boss her around, make her do things because she's the newcomer.
I'll be your family now. Aw, you want me to treat you like I do my sister? Get the phone.
But yet Kelly is still a strong character.
Okay, Kelly, go upstairs, please.
And action.
Oliver!
I play Kyle, the boyfriend of Kelly.
Merry Christmas.
I have previously dated one of the other sisters in the house, and I have caused some kind of a commotion. You might think I'm involved, you might think I'm not. Billy? Billy Len's the guy that used to live in this house? Wow. Then you're definitely getting punked. Because he's dead.
Claire?
Glenn wants it to feel like we're being watched all the time and to get into some really extreme angles. I think it's a very interesting way of looking at it if you've got a justification for it. This way we can always leave a little question in the viewer's mind. Is this my POV, the audience's POV, or who's looking at this? You know, we're on camera 38 times a day on average without knowing it. We'll cut to an angle that you associate with that camera that's monitoring your behavior in a store or a bank. At home, I really felt like we're all being watched, and there was a kind of a paranoid feel going on. The original had the whole abortion through line. I try to replace those themes with that issue.
What if there's something on her computer? Like an email or something that says where she is?
Oh, whoa, you know what? This isn't cool. I don't feel comfortable, whatever, like invading someone's privacy like this. Try calling the police again.
What was that?
My direction here is to mimic the movement of branches with the falling of the snow, giving it a gentle swaying action. And of course we have coniferous trees that hold the snowflakes nicely, giving it that nice Christmassy look. And then we have the deciduous leafless branches that represent the coming evil. So we've juxtaposed gentle snow with the evil branches. It's all evil in the end. Everyone dies.
Have yourself a very Merry Christmas. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas.
From action, you're there.
I'm just working the cigarette down. It's for Glenn. That's why I'm having this.
Get the scissors and cut it. You don't have to.
We've got
that smoothie, man.
I play Lauren Hannon, and she drinks really heavily. I mean, I chase back tequila with a glass of wine. That's how much I drink. But she's kind of got that edge to her. She's been around. She knows what's going on. And, you know, she drinks now because it's the Christmas holidays. And most times on Christmas is when people get most depressed, which is so weird, you know, because you think Christmas is happy. But it's only happy for the select few that have great families. For the people like my character, I don't have a great family, so it just reminds me how much I don't have a great family and how crappy it is and that nobody really wants me to come home or is waiting. So she's pretty smart-ass and sarcastic.
What in this room resembles anything Christian, huh? It's all neo-pagan magic. Christmas tree, a magical rite ensuring the return of the crops. The mistletoe is nothing but a conception charm. 5th century Christians jacked a Roman winter festival. 12 days in December where the nights were long and the earth was roamed by the demons of chaos.
You know, Christmas in general, there's a creepiness to it. The whole reason that, you know, Mary and Joseph were running to Bethlehem is to escape the slaughter of thousands of children. So just its origin is kind of frightening. Then you got Saint Nick.
How'd you get in here?
The door was open.
Just the whole idea of this guy that you allow into your house in the middle of the night and then not through the door. I mean, when I was a kid, that was just kind of bothered me. American Christmas is basically Washington Irving and Coca-Cola.
Blood.
If Santa has a red suit because Coca-Cola is red, you just start breaking it all down and you realize what nonsense the whole thing is. But I like getting presents.
You, Santa Claus. I play Lee, and she's the sister of Claire, who lives in the sorority. Claire's trying to bridge the time between them and has said, you know, basically pick me up for Christmas vacation. Lee probably lives a much faster paced, intense life than Claire does. I think she expects to come to the sorority and find Claire, you know, waiting for her, and then she gets there and she can't find her. And that sort of starts Lee's character in the movie, you know. Where's Claire?
Claire's name is Crosby. This says Colvin.
The divorce will be final in March. What else do you need? Look, I can't tell you anything about this place because I really hated it here. I never was in a sorority. The clique thing never appealed to me. I think I was always afraid of that kind of thing. I see Billy still gets a Christmas present. But I certainly do understand the desire to create a family, especially for those people who feel that the family that they have is somehow not intact in their mind. Even though it's in the course of an evening, I think that it's a pivotal evening for her because for everybody in the movie, it's about creating and finding family.
Action.
Until I see that they're dead, they are alive. This is Billy Lenz we're talking about here. He's probably listening to us right now.
Yeah, and if I had a sister, I would expect her to go up there.
How would you know you don't have a sister? She does.
Home, they're so upset about gays marrying and family values and what is a family. Just scream from there. And so your idea is better than someone else's idea. It lies somewhere in that. So that when that eye opens, it's like, I'm going to show my love to her by eating her. Action. Billy is this little boy who sees his mother kill his father, and now he comes to think, well, is that how you show your love? And then she locked him in the attic and took away any emotion. Cut. And, you know, it's a horror movie and all that stuff, but there are people who go through some pretty desperate acts.
All right, this picture ready?
Family is what you make it. Is that wrong?
Okay, fight, go.
In this
Hard,
movie,
hard.
it is wrong. They're murdering people. They have a f***ed up idea about what it is. But I don't know if I have a definitive family theme.
Merry Christmas, everyone. You're all, like, my family now.
Like, oh, we must have a family, or maybe about how you can't get away from them even if you want to.
There's a real sense of foreboding and mystery that he's creating.
Take a flashlight?
You got the house, you got Christmas time, you got the Christmas music.
He's opening the door. It goes, wow.
Take that generic song that you hear every Christmas and it makes you happy, and now it's the last song you want to hear at Christmas after seeing this movie.
You know, it's a classic haunted house story. It's the things that go bump in the night and when you're alone in the house and you hear funny sounds and what's making the clothes rustle in the closet.
It's creepy and disturbing, every scene, every shot. The camera angle is alluding to something happening when really it's something else.
Action.
And it's different. From what I've seen, it's very artsy. Just the way everybody's portrayed and to see it all come together, I think it'll be pretty damn good.
Billy!